Hey, 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 happy Thursday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at The Daily Dope, presented by thegaminggang.com, of which I happen to be the Grand Poobah. Well, finger guns there, right? All right, so welcome aboard. Tonight is Thursday, January 16th, 2020. This is episode 426 of The Daily Dope. This is the first time you've joined me. Keep in mind, very, very casual show. I just pretty much discuss the latest in tabletop gaming news. Sometimes we talk a little bit about pop culture. Every once in a while, maybe a little PC game news. I've got some tonight. So we'll be talking about that as well. This is not rocket surgery by any stretch of the imagination at all. So just kick back and relax because this is live on YouTube. That does mean chat is available. It's not on screen. One of the ways that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But I do my best to pay attention to chat. So if you like, say howdy, or maybe you've got a question or a comment, by all means, chime in. I'll do my best to respond. Every once in a while, chat kind of zips by pretty quickly. So, especially when we've got quite a few people hanging out in chat. Anyway, I should point out, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Help battle the trolls out there. And don't forget, subscribe to the channel. If you do, be sure to ring that little bell because it will not only notify you when the Daily Dope goes live within about a minute or so, it'll also tell you when my standalone videos get uploaded as well. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Be sure to tell a friend. Share the news. Share links to videos. Or if you hang out at the website, which there's a lot going on at the website, fire off, a little Twitter or Facebook or Reddit or what have you. Help spread the word. We are bringing in more and more subscribers all the time to the channel. And our traffic numbers at the website are very, very good. So I do see that a Gray Day is hanging out in chat with us tonight. So, hey, there we go. And the Madman is arrived as well. Good to see you. So before I jump into the news for tonight, which is going to be kind of short, gotta be honest, it's been a crazy day. I've been running around doing a lot of different stuff. And I kind of rearranged the Duct Tape Studios, although you probably can't tell from your viewpoint here. I did not rearrange games in that. I have been thinking about doing some rearranging of some of the games behind me to kind of rotate some stuff in, rotate some stuff out. But what I did do is I moved my overhead camera, which is at a table normally over here. So if you ever watch any of my unboxings or reviews or anything like that, I would say, okay, let's swing on over to the other camera. So I actually moved the overhead camera over here. So it is actually above my keyboard right now. So I'm going to try to mess around with that a little bit and see about, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's going to go on. I've been talking about maybe doing unboxings and first looks and reviews and that on the Daily Dope. Once again, I'm leaning in a particular direction. I will talk about that a little bit after the news. There's something else I'm going to kind of get into a bit tonight. Role-playing game-wise, because Thursdays, I love talking role-playing games. I'm not going to go crazy about it. It's not going to be like an hour and a half show by any stretch. This will probably be one of the shorter shows. But, a Grade A mentioned, yes, Christopher Tolkien did pass away. I saw that earlier. I did see that. whenever I see news of somebody passing away, I always feel sorry, feel bad for their family and things like that. A lot of people did not like Christopher Tolkien, I should say. So Tolkien, all depends. Tomato, potato. I've heard people, who were, supposedly in the know, call the family Tolkien, and then I've heard other people supposedly in the know call it the last name Tolkien. I try to say Tolkien. I think that was what it's supposed to be. But yes, there were people out there who were not fans of Christopher Tolkien and some of the changes and things like that, and some of the how he finished up some of his father's work that was pretty much unfinished at the time of J.R.R. Tolkien's passing. But yes, it is sorry to see him pass away. But I mean, he was up there. He was up there in age. I think he was in his 80s, if I remember correctly. Maybe even older than that. Flaming Huron's in chat. Good to see you, Flaming Huron. So anyway, let's jump on into the news. We'll chat about other stuff as we go along. So first up, do you want to point out February 5th is going to be a pretty good gaming day next month. I know we've been talking about how January 26th, there's all this stuff arriving on the scene. Well, February 5th is looking pretty good too, because Daily Magic Games will be releasing Corsairs of Valeria. And I've got the dope. With the current Commodore lost at sea, you and your fellow Corsairs have set out to complete the traditional challenge. The first captain to sail the Valerian Isles and gather enough silver to fill 6 treasure chests will be the next Commodore. Seize the dice and roll, you scurvy orc lover. Language, man, jeez. Coins earn you silver. Grog gives you the power to re-roll your dice. Cannons let you attack merchant ships or opponents to take their silver. And maps move your ship forward. Watch out for the curses, though, because each one you roll means a silver coin lost to Excretes, and more commonly known as Skull Island to true Corsairs. Your captain cards give you a special player power that could help you win if you use it to your best advantage. The first player to reach Skull Island will get all of the coins lost to the cursed dice. But that doesn't fill, but if that doesn't fill your 6th treasure chest, the race resets and you keep on sailing. And if you or no other captain gains their 6th treasure by the second time someone reaches Skull Island, the game ends and the captain with the most treasure and silver wins the game. Corsairs of Valeria is for 2 to 5 players, ages 8 and up, plays in around 25 minutes, and will carry an MSRP of $25 when it arrives, as I mentioned previously, on February 5th. Wish I had more images to share of this, as opposed to just a box cover and kind of a layout of the game. Seems like this could be kind of fun, right? Yeah, kind of quick game. So, yeah, it's a dice chucking game. I like dice chucking games. I definitely like Thieves' Den from Daily Magic Games. Gotta get that review out. I gotta finish up that review and get that out there as well. But this looks kind of cool. This looks pretty fun. You know what? I will, speaking of Daily Magic Games, I will get my review of Thieves' Den done this weekend. So, anyway. So not bad price either. $25 up to 5 players. Sounds all right. Speaking of all right, Kevin Thorpe is in chat popping in. Good to see you, Kevin. Thanks for joining us tonight. Moving on to news piece number 2, and title number 2 that's arriving on February 5th is Fire! Exclamation point. From Stronghold Games, I've got the dope. The aliens attack and only you, yes, you, can defend Earth. Charge your weapons and destroy all aliens before you lose too much energy. I'm running out of energy fighting these aliens. Gotta take a nap. I know, I'm just throwing that in. Level by level, danger rises. Are you ready to accept the challenges? and win all 9 levels. In Fire, you can play either in solo mode, playing all 9 levels on your own, or in team mode, fighting cooperatively with a friend against all aliens. Fire uses the Fable game system introduced in Fabled Fruit, with a pre-sorted deck of cards and a rules booklet separated in 9 sections. You will discover all 9 challenging levels step by step. You can reset the game at any time and play it again. Fire plays like a retro arcade game of alien attacks. Looks quite a lot like Space Invaders, don't it? You must shoot down the alien invaders while trying to avoid losing, as mentioned before, too much energy. Play through 9 levels, adding and removing cards as the challenges increase each level. Fire is for 1 or 2 players, ages 10 and up, plays in about 25 minutes, and will carry an MSRP of $19.95 when this arrives on February 5th. I don't know. I'm not, well, okay, so it's a Friedman Freeze design, which, just for me, right? It's just my opinion from my experience playing some of his games. He tends to be kind of hit or miss with me. Although it's kind of funny how the color green has to be the cover of his box all the time, right? So, like, Black Friday was an economic game that he did. I did not care for that at all. So, oh yes, and Pinky is coming down here. Of course. There we go. Yes. So, anyway. I don't know. It could be interesting. It's a $20 game. It's a solitaire game. One of the other aspects of this that kind of throws me off is having the, like, pre-created deck that you're going to play from. That kind of means that it's going to play out a bit the same every time. I don't know. I have no idea. So a Grade A is asking about Fountains of Rome. And I had thought of sharing that Kickstarter news today. But here's why I didn't. I know, and maybe this sounds a little petty, but when I was at Gen Con last year, and this is back when let me get a sip here. When Tony Galati was still doing PR for Arcane Wonders, I not only was talking to Tony about it because they had a prototype out for you to take a peek at. I was also talking to, oh gosh, I can't remember the gentleman's name. Not that he's not the designer, but he is a game designer, but he's not the designer of Foundations of Rome. So the talk was, oh yeah, we're gonna make sure that we want you to do a Kickstarter preview of this, and we really want you to be involved in this because we really like the stuff to do, and blah blah blah, So then I notice the Kickstarter kicks off. I've heard nothing about it. They haven't even bothered to send me an email to tell me that the Kickstarter was coming up or launching. Now, keeping in mind, Tony's no longer with Arcane Wonders. He is now with Czech Games Edition. So I go take a look at the Kickstarter, and for one, it's a $100 game. And it's, miniature buildings, which kind of look cool. But then again, in my mind, I think to myself, yeah, but did you really need those minis to make it a $100 game? I mean, you could have easily done top-down, nice, thick, chunky counters, tokens, what have you, right? Anyway, so I take a look, and they've got, like, everybody and their uncle doing previews of this. And I thought, well, okay, so you don't bother, talking to me again. So I'm like, no thanks. Enough, Pinky, stop it. Yes, I understand you're down here. Relax. Go back upstairs. She just loves to come down here. for a few minutes and be like, meow, 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 meow. Right? I don't know. Anyway, so I sort of was like, yeah, you know. Plus, okay, so a Gray Day is saying, I've read a few people said it was an overproduced tile laying game. I'm kind of with you on that. Now, I don't mind the fact that it's a tile laying game where you're creating Rome, and it's all these different unique buildings, which I think is very cool. But as I took a closer look at it, I mean, it is just kind of a tile laying game, and each player has, from what I understand, I might be wrong because I didn't spend a whole lot of time studying this. Each player has their allotment of buildings that they can build. And that's it. They can't build other people's buildings. So I don't know if it's randomly generated or, you know, you just reach it. I don't know. I have no idea. But I thought that was kind of weird that you can't build whatever you want. You can only build stuff that you have like in your supply. And then I saw there's a bunch of add-ons with different monuments and stuff like that, jacking the price up. So at the end of it all, and it's funny because it was the first thing I put in the news today, and I started putting it together, and then I thought more about it, and I was kind of like, you know what? After you guys were sitting there going, oh, we really want you to take a look at this, Jeff, and do a preview, and then they just blow me off, I thought, no, that's okay. I won't share the news. So like I said, maybe that sounds kind of petty, but it is getting to the point. You got to fight. We little small independent reviewers and that who aren't sitting there getting paid by all the different companies out there to do previews and reviews. Right, Man versus Meeple? Yeah. We got to fight. We can't just roll over and be like, yeah, okay, we'll do your Kickstarter news for you. No, really, you can't. You just can't. So yes, I know. Yeah. So I pontificated. Here come the thumbs down. Oh, Jeff, I hate your opinions. You're too opinionated. You should just talk about games. Games. So that thanks a lot, a Great A. Get me all worked up. I'm not worked up at all. Moving right along. Our third title, which is arriving on February 5th. Gotta tell you, it's like we've got these days that are just lining up that are gonna be like empty your wallet, right? January 26th, February 5th. Anyway, this is from Indie Boards and Cards. It is Kodama. I think it's pronounced Kodama. 3D. And I've got a little bit of dope. There's not a lot of dope out there about this game, but I will share what I have found. Once again, this is another game that I wish there was more photography, more images I could share, and I'll talk about that in just a sec. Anyway, Kodama 3D features all the fun and beauty of Kodama, the tree spirits, brought to the third dimension. It just sounds kind of strange like that, doesn't it? When they grow older, every Kodama is given a tree of their own, and it's their job to watch over it and help it grow healthy and strong. From trunk to twig, they must keep it green and growing, the perfect home for flowers, mushrooms, and critters of all kinds. I'd assume the mushrooms are like down at the trunk of the tree. Even other Kodama love to travel around and visit new trees. Now it's your turn. Create your own masterpiece of branches and leaves and make the forest even more beautiful. In Kodama 3D, players will grow trees in three-dimensional space. Players move Kodama, what have you, Kodama, say, pieces around a grid of branch tiles to pick the branches they want to add to their tree. When players have placed 12 tree branches, score all goal cards. Player with the most victory points, you guessed it, wins. Kodama 3D is for 2 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, plays in about 30 to 40 minutes. will carry an MSRP of $29.99 when it arrives, as previously mentioned, on February 5th. One of the reasons why I wish there was more photography images that I could use, right? Because I only take stuff that's either from the publisher or the game designer. That's it. Anybody else's photography I cannot touch. I mean, I guess I could if I was a jerk, but I don't do that. Reason why I wanted to try to get more images is because this looks like this has a really nice table presence with that tree that you're actually building as you play. And I think each of the players are building their own trees. And then you got the little meeple, the little Kodama meeples that are actually sitting on the little tree branches. So I saw a picture, I think it was from a convention, that they were doing a demo. I was like, oh yeah, hey, that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, the photo was from a gamer. It was from a con goer. It was not from the company itself. So anyway, this is coming from Indie Boards and Cards. Once again, February 5th. So we've got Nefarious Coel in chat. It has been a while since Nefarious has popped in. I think it was like last week. So better than Cadaver 3D. Yes, I would think so. Maybe not as educational as Cadaver 3D would be, but probably a lot more fun for the kids. And of course, Nefarious is like, will the expansion involve building your own log cabin? Yes. And you'll actually have to find homes for the displaced Kodama, no doubt. I deal with fear by using humor, says Nefarious. I tend to fear games involving meeples. I don't. Come on. You gotta play Everdell, and that's got the little animal meeples. That is a blast. I love that game. That was my game of the year last year. I will talk about game of the year voting for something in just a moment as well. All right, so it's Thursday. So Thursdays mean that there is a free game over at the Epic Game Store. It's a free PC game. So the latest title is available, and I've got the dope about Horus from 505 Games. A game made by video game lovers for video game lovers. An unmissable tale. Is that actually a word, unmissable? Tale of a small robot on a big adventure. Made by just 2 people, Horus offers over 15 hours of exciting platforming and pushes the boundaries of the genre with profound storytelling and quirky and nostalgic pop culture references. And as you can see, this looks like this is 16-bit graphics. Adventure through hours of varied gameplay, dubbed by many as the Indie Game of the Year 2019. Overcome 2D platforming challenges with a unique twist. Unlock new Metroidvania-inspired robot abilities, enjoy retro-inspired mini-games, and reunite Horus with his family. There is a short launch video that, of course, this came out this past year. So this is a Steam video, actually. I think it says Steam, maybe not. But I wanted to share the launch video for Horus, which is available free right now. So kick back, let's take a peek.
Robots are allowed pretty much anywhere in the building as long as they look the part, whispered Mr. Silton. You just need to be wearing no clothes and have the blankest of faces. So I took off my suit and made my face blank. Blanker, said Mr. Silton. I am not sure why I was created. I think I am supposed to help people. And life isn't so bad if you have a family and video games. Existence is good. I'm not quite sure what has happened. Something has gone terribly wrong. It appears human beings are predisposed to hurting each other. I have to find my family. I need us to be together again. I was created to help people.
As previously mentioned, you can score Horus absolutely free at the Epic Game Store from now through January 23rd at 10 a.m., which is when they will launch their next free game. So, do want to also mention, if you are a fan of the freebies that the Epic Game Store has been kind of handing out, in fact, right before during the holidays, between Christmas and New Year's, there was a free game every day. They have announced that they will continue to be giving away a free game, a brand new, different free game every week, all the way through 2020. Kind of cool, especially if you like PC games. Nice. This looks kind of fun. I've heard good things about it. The reviews have been really, really good, and I think most of the reviews focus on that it's got a really good story, which, I gotta be honest, you don't find too many platformers that have really good stories. What is Hollow Knight? I think is awesome. I mean, I have a hard time. Not that quick, right? So, but I think that had a fantastic story. But yeah, this should be kind of cool. So I see Tony is joining us in chat. Good to see you. Welcome aboard. So Nefarious says the Epic Game Store has been going all out trying to get more signups. I heard that last year they gave away like 20 million free games. So, well, you know, who wins out? Person who's winning out are the gamers out there, because you got Epic and you also have Steam kind of going head to head there. So, I mean, I know you got GOG out there as well, but I think it's really right now it's kind of Epic and Steam kind of boom. Doug Roberts has popped in. So has Ominous Mecca. Good to see everybody hanging out in chat. Getting close to the end of the news today. So my final news piece is regarding 3 new adventures that are available right now for the Nibiru, I think that's how it's pronounced, role-playing game system, which is from Modiphius Entertainment. Just talked about this last week. We already have 3 adventures out for it. Here's the dope. Nibiru is a science fiction role-playing game of lost memories. Players take on the role of vagabonds, amnesiacs, lost in a massive space station, home to millions, where stories of drama and struggle are written on a daily basis. First off, there's Boiling Point. The barge arrived just in time. With the sequels of their ailments still lingering, the vagabonds seek help, but the strange events that will unfold during their search hint at the causes of their illness and at hidden forces trying to take control of the city of Suruptu. Will they find the cure? Boiling Point is an adventure set in the city of Suruptu. It deals with themes of political intrigue and environmental crisis, and with the twisted ways in which hidden forces exert control over the peoples of Penumbra. It is an ideal starting point for any Nibiru chronicle. Next up is Family Matters. The time of harvest is here. As the vagabonds venture into the Archean sorrows, in hopes of fulfilling their debt and keeping their place at the Crossroads Haven, a family struggles through tragedy and hardship. What stalks them beneath the still water and the glowing fungi? Family Matters is an adventure set in the mysterious region of Umbra, of desolated communities and these strange creatures that roam their edge. It is an ideal starting point for any Nibiru chronicle. Finally, we've got Foundations. Deep in the city's bowels, vagabonds meet. Their gather heralds the establishment of new foundations, of a new community below the shadows of the Assyrian archaeologies. I swear it does say Assyrian. But is this hidden utopia really worth the sacrifices they'll soon be pushed to make? Foundations is an adventure set in the city of Ashur. It deals with themes of persecution and of the sacrifices the persecuted make to find a place to call home. It is also an ideal starting point for any Nibiru chronicle. Each of these adventures can be had right now in PDF over at DriveThruRPG. They are $7 a piece, and get ready for it. They are only 8 pages in length. As Kabuki Kid has to rock out. Good to see you, Double K. Okay, so gotta say, $7 for 8-page adventure. Okay, I guess the word I want to use here, and I love Modiphius Entertainment. I have interviewed Chris Birch a couple of times. I always say hi to him whenever I run across him at different conventions and that. They're always super nice. They send me PDFs of stuff. Every once in a while, I actually get physical products to review from Modiphius Entertainment. So I really do like the company and the people at the company. But I gotta be honest, $7 for an 8-page PDF is ridiculous. That is ridiculous, kids. Boys and girls, no way. When I start seeing PDFs going for more than 20 cents a page, then I start sitting there thinking, and I say something, and I usually go, oh, that's too pricey. 35 cents a page, that's pretty pricey for PDF. Here, we're looking at, 90 cents a page? Ridiculous. And I have seen, this is kind of a trend going on right now. We are seeing the cost of PDFs going up and up and up, especially from Modiphius Entertainment. I will point that out. Modiphius seems to be at the forefront of the higher priced PDFs. Now, don't get me wrong, their stuff is really good. But if I have a choice of getting a 64-page adventure for, let's say, $5.99 for a system out there, let's say I'm at DriveThruRPG, or I have an option of an 8-page adventure for $7, I think I'm swinging over towards the other one, right? The other adventure, because you're probably going to have way more packed in, way more gaming goodness packed in. So, I don't know. So, Nefarious says, Modiphius has great stuff. Yeah, they have picked up a bunch of indie titles. Yes, they have. And they actually are the folks who publish the freely publishing English language editions of stuff too. So yeah, they've got a lot of different stuff. Personally, I really think like the Conan Adventures in an Age Undreamed Of, Star Trek Adventures, the John Carter, those are really, really good systems. I really, really do like it. I know some folks don't like the 2D20 systems. They feel they're a little too crunchy. And in Conan, a little bit. I can see that. Star Trek, not as much. And then, of course, John Carter's kind of more of the slimmed down. So, but Flaming Heron says that they tend to only get PDFs that come with physical copies. So, yes. And we are seeing more and more copies, or more and more companies charging way, way more for the PDFs. Used to be about 10 cents a page is what you would see. And even 10 cents a page for releases that had some artwork as well. We're not talking just all text, a wall of text. But now we're seeing, 20 cents I can understand. Yeah, 20 cents a page. Okay. Start going higher than that. When you start putting together your physical books and charging more than half of what you're charging for a physical product for a digital product, yeah, I sort of got a problem with that. I got to be honest. Anyway, yes, so Nefarious says, Conan is awesome. Yes, the layout and editing is a little off. The layout can be... Actually, the layout that, to me, really is kind of odd is the layout for John Carter, where it's kind of a landscape book. It's cool. I really like it, but it is kind of, especially like as a PDF, very, very bizarre. Really, really strange. So, all right. Last thing I did want to talk about tonight is if you came late, I was talking that earlier today, kind of rearranged stuff in the Duct Tape Studios. So, not that you can really see it, but as I pointed out, I used to have my overhead camera at a table over here. So what I've done is I've switched stuff up, and now the overhead camera is actually right here. And I will turn that on in just a second. So Man says, I tend to get physical copies of core books and PDFs for adventures. Yeah, that is a good way to go about it too. Because reality is, I mean, especially if we're looking at more of the traditional page count adventures, like, 32 pages, 64 pages, those tend to work well as PDFs or as 300 page books. I'm with most people. I like to have the book in my hand. If it's a big, like I couldn't imagine reading like the 600 pages of the Pathfinder 2nd edition as a PDF. Don't think so. I can't imagine doing that. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump down and I will kind of show you. I got to go way, way down here. Turn the camera on, my overhead camera. Just kind of give you a quick peek. There we go. All right, so yes, so this is what I have to do. This is okay. To kind of give you hold on, there we go. I just wanted to pop because I usually don't keep my mug on when I do unboxings and stuff like that anymore. I kind of try to get my mug out of there. So there we go. So this is the overhead. And of course, I'm sure that this is not synced up because once I unplug things, it's always a little screwy. So anyway, so now what I can basically do is, if I want to, I can actually do unboxings or reviews in that live and not be sitting there like going, having to turn my, hey, yeah, so then, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, so yeah, so that is basically what I'll be doing. Anyway, so yeah, not too bad, not too shabby. So just make life a little easier as far as putting some of this stuff together. All right, so let me turn this back off. Get back up here. There we go. All right. So Flaming Heron is asking, is this giving people an idea what might happen next week? And the Furious is like, how many different versions of Bang is there? Yes, Bang the Duel. It's 2 players. This came out. This is from like 2015. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is the new expansion here. This is the expansion. This is the 2-player. So the expansion adds more like gameplay options and the Renegades. So in the Duel, it's outlaws and lawmen. Well, law dogs, I guess we'll say, because there are some female characters. I have kind of silly to say lawmen. So, anyway, so the question is, am I giving people an idea of what might happen next week? Actually, no. The more I think about it, the less likely I am to do reviews during the Daily Dope. I might do unboxings and first looks, might do page throughs, but I'm not going to do the reviews simply because it'll be really, really difficult to be doing a review and following chat. People are asking questions, and that'll just throw me way off. But I think I am going to do the unboxings and first looks of some things from on the Daily Dope. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. I know there were people who voted in the Twitter poll, and I think it was like 75%. There weren't a lot of votes. 75% were like, yeah, bring back the unboxings and the reviews and stuff to the Daily Dope. Whereas some of the folks from companies that I talked to would prefer that I just do them separate. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on. Anyway, do want to point out, I'm not sure if there's going to be a show tomorrow or not. If you watched yesterday, you know, there was a death in the family, so don't know exactly what's going on with that. So we'll find out. What I always recommend is follow me over on Twitter at The Gaming Gang, and you'll usually know what's happening. So usually, you know, like today, okay, I was running around doing a bunch of stuff. So the whole, like, here's the stuff I'm talking about tonight was a bit late. I think it went up at about 4 o'clock Central, 4:30 Central. But usually around 1, 2 o'clock Central, I have something saying, hey, join me tonight for episode number 426. So if you don't see that, then you will know no show tomorrow. So Nefarious says, I want another big fancy Wild West horror board game with less dice rolling than Shadows of Brimstone. And I don't often request less dice rolling. I gotta say, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of Shadows over Brimstone. I like it. I think it's okay. I don't think there's enough gameplay in the box. That's a miniatures sort of thing that happens like that. When you have board games that are miniatures driven, a lot of times you will find that there isn't a whole lot of gameplay right out of the box. It's, oh, you got to go get this expansion and that expansion and this expansion. So, and the other thing is, I like the miniatures, but they are pretty much true 28 millimeter. They're not 32 or 34. So they don't tend to be as detailed as you see with 32 or 34 millimeter minis. So that means you can't use them with any other miniatures unless they are true 28s. Anyway, but I mean, it's kind of a cool game. I've played it a few times. It's all right. I think Elliot likes it better than I like it, but you know, that's okay. So he's a big fan of Descent, 2nd edition, and I thought it's all right. See, to me, it's like the amount of time it takes to set it up, and then you play, and it's kind of like. So Nefarious says, I love the original Warhammer Quest, but dice rolling and combat needed to be streamlined. Don't know. I never played it, actually. Don't remember playing it. All right, so that's it for tonight's show. As I always like to point out, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Fight those trolls. And subscribe to the channel. If you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that little bell, because it will notify you of not only when the Daily Dope goes live, but also when I upload standalone videos. I should have a couple this weekend. I really should. So, and of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Of course, those of you who were watching live and hanging out in chat, thank you very much. Definitely appreciate that. Always love folks keeping me company while I do the show. Yet, if you do watch after the fact, even if you're watching on Memorex, I certainly appreciate that as well. Anyway, like I said, check on YouTube, or not YouTube, check on Twitter tomorrow. I will let you know if there is a show or not. It's about 50-50 right now. So, of course, if I'm back tomorrow, I will see you then. Of course, everybody enjoy your Thursday night. And until next time, happy trails. Oh, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, by all means, subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel by clicking right here. And of course, if you want to catch up on past episodes of The Daily Dope, check out this playlist. And if you'd like to see what YouTube's recommending you take a peek at from the channel, just give a click right over here. Of course, I'm Jeff McAleer, and once again, thank you very much for watching.